Hey there, it's Wendy from Worldwide Speak. Hope you're doing well. Today in this video, I want to talk to you about a piece in the writing process that can be a bit challenging for English language learners, and that is editing. And specifically in this video, I'm going to give you one tip that can help you improve this part of the writing process and improve the quality of your writing. You ready? Let's learn. All right, so what is editing? Well, this is the part of the writing process where we go back over our first draft that we've written or second draft, and we look through our writing for errors that we've made or to make changes to our writing. Maybe we want to move something around or use a different example in a different paragraph. So this is a really important part of the writing process, but it's super challenging when it's not your native language. So it's kind of like when, we call it the fine tuning of your writing. And it's like when somebody's playing the violin, it's beautiful when it's in tune and you love listening to it. But if the violin is out of tune, it can be a little challenging to listen to. So editing helps us fine-tune our paper, and we want to make sure that there are no errors and that the overall paper is clear and effective, and that's what makes it so easy to read, as well as when you listen to somebody playing the violin, if it's in tune, it makes it really easy to listen to. Okay, so here is your tip. In this video, this one little thing can help you improve your overall writing by making sure that your sentences are strong. Remember, your sentences are the foundation of your writing. I also have a video on sentences if you want to check that out, and it goes over simple, compound, and complex sentences. And remember, if you subscribe, you'll know when our new videos come out right away. So you probably want to do that too. But anyway, back to the tip. Check all of your sentences and clauses for a subject and a verb, because all of your sentences and clauses need a subject and a verb. Without either one of those, your sentence is incorrect. So one way that I have my students go back and do this is that I have them start at the end of their paper and read it to the beginning, which is backwards, right? It's not going to make any sense. But that way, they're not reading the paper. They're actually just focusing on sentence by sentence, because if you read it backwards, it's not going to make any sense. So you're just going to look at the sentences. Another thing that I remind my students is that let's say you're writing a process paragraph and you're telling somebody how to do something, like maybe it's a recipe, you're using the imperative, and that has no written subject. So you just want to make a note of that. For example, I could have a sentence in my paragraph that says, second, chop the green onions. Well, we don't need to put you as the subject because it's the imperative, so there's just that verb there. So you do need a subject and a verb in every sentence and clause, but just make a mental note that if it's like a process paragraph or essay, that if you're using the imperative, you won't see the subject because we omit that or we take that out when we use the imperative. So now it's my favorite time. It is time to practice this tip. This is a paragraph from I think it was, the prompt was describe the best city to go to, and it's an introduction paragraph. Actually, the entire essay for this introduction paragraph is on our website, worldwidespeak.com, and you can download that for free and go over the essay and especially this introduction paragraph at whenever you want. like I told you, I'd like to start with the last sentence. And let's take a look and make sure there's a subject and a verb. So the last sentence is, yet the most amazing city that one must visit when traveling in the United States is Chicago because of its architecture, restaurants, and museums. So I'm looking at this sentence and I'm thinking, what is the subject? Well, we're talking about the city, right? And we're going to talk about which city is the best. So we have to be careful because this is our subject, but our verb is, and you're thinking, oh, that seems to be kind of separate. But I also have this clause in between because this is a complex sentence. And in my clause that begins with that, one must visit. There's a subject and verb there too. So this complex sentence has a couple of clauses and they both have subjects and verb. We're good. Let's look at the next sentence. Others to San Francisco for the natural beauty. That doesn't sound okay to me. Others to San Francisco. Others to, wait a minute, something's missing. Yeah, you're right. We need a verb. Others what to San Francisco? There's no action in that sentence. I forgot to put a verb in. So we would probably say something like others go or others visit or others plan to go to San Francisco. So make sure that you insert a verb in that sentence to make it correct. Let's read the next one. Often choose New York City because they have amazing theater performances. That doesn't sound right either. Do you know why? Well, often choose New York City. Often. Who's choosing? We have no idea because we need a subject. Your subject is, tourists or visitors or people, right? So you need to make sure you've got a subject there. And just a little note as a teacher, I would say that oftentimes my students typically leave out the subject more than they leave out the verb. But that is just what I have noticed in my students' writing. So just be careful and be aware that you need a subject and a verb in each sentence, and if it's a complex sentence or compound sentence, in each clause. So we have a couple more sentences. Let's take a look. A lot of people prefer to visit cities in the United States since there is such a variety. That sounds pretty good to me. All right, let's look at the next one. A lot of people prefer to visit cities in the United States since there is such a variety. This looks good to me. A lot of people prefer subject, verb. Okay, and then lastly, let's take a look at that first sentence. There are so many incredible cities to visit throughout the world. Well, this sounds pretty good. There are. So as you can see, you kind of hear my thought process when I'm editing. I start at the end and I move up to the beginning so that I can focus on each sentence individually and make certain that there's a subject and a verb. And so be careful because if you've written complex sentences that have independent and dependent clauses, you're going to need a subject and verb in each of those clauses. So hopefully this helps you, and I look forward to seeing you again. Remember to subscribe, and good luck with your writing. You can do this.